Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is my first vlog. So I just was beginning to vlog like a year ago, and it stopped because 2020 happened and I was so confused, and I was also focusing on my career growth and learning a lot of new skills. And now I am here a year later. So 2020, a lot of good things happen, a lot of not so good things happen, and it's all okay. And I am a graphic designer by profession, and I stay in Rishikesh. I own my own design coaching company, Elementary Design Courses, and where we consistently teach UI, UX, animation, and motion design. However, this is my personal space and this is my personal channel. And this channel, it's going to be mostly be focusing on some aspects of graphic design, but this is not going to be a tutorial space. It's going to be my life as an entrepreneur in India and how it is to live in Rishikesh. And for women, it's going to be wellness and healthy habits and self-development and self-growth and learning, because I learned and taught myself graphic design from scratch, and got a job, did it, left it, and started my own enterprise, my own design coaching company. And I already am 12 clients strong, and I have been teaching 12 students from across the world. Some clients of mine are here in Rishikesh, and some learn online from USA and Canada. And so this is what it's going to be about: how to grow your business, how to grow yourself, and how to develop every day doing something that you love. Hey everyone, so as I promised that I'll give you a change of a scenery, so I did. And I'm here just like I'd say 1 kilometers away from where I live, just a walking distance actually. And it's a very beautiful, like it has like all this like trees and jungle road, and actually this leads to Nilkant actually. So I'm thinking about the second part of this video, which is this: why am I starting this channel? As an entrepreneur and somebody who is self-taught as a graphic designer, who has I have self-taught myself a lot of different softwares like Adobe After Effects, UI UX design, Figma, Principle, Sketch, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. And I started out very small. Like when I put up my portfolio, it was just some vector drawings, and I really had no idea what I was doing. In fact, I started out with Figma as a graphic design tool, and Figma is interestingly a UI UX tool, but the ease of the tool introduced me to a whole world of graphic design and how I can do it. So I really like that, and hence the journey, hence building up of one thing on top of the other on top of the other, until I got my job where I actually learned a lot. But and then I left it, and then a lot of learning, trust me, a lot of learning actually happened for me when I built my business from scratch. When my students come and ask me questions, when I teach them software, when I want to engage them, when I want to hold their attention and make them take the next level, I have to give them things which are valuable, which can almost easily be applied. So I give them distilled and crystallized knowledge, something that for me it took me about a year to self-learn. For them, I give it to them right there and right then, in a very distilled and crystallized format. So I think my students, it's because of my students from around the world that I actually learned a lot. And what I mean to say is that learning anything from scratch has lots of ups and downs, because you don't know if it's going to ever come to fruition. I mean, let's accept it that for almost all of us, one of the primary things because of which we learn skills is because we want to make money, right? And for me, I guess I had to convince myself again and again that, yeah, you know what, it's easy. Like, you can make money, like you can get a job if you learn graphic design. I had to cut the video off in between, there were monkeys. What I'm saying is that when I started learning graphic design, I had to convince myself that, you know what, this is something that is someday going to pay me something. And for me, my major first goal was that I do freelancing. You know, I'd be one of those people who made logos, just starting out very small. And slowly, when I built my portfolio, I realized there's like so much to it. Like, it actually makes me happy, you know. And there was a period in between when I wasn't even sure if I wanted to be a graphic designer or a UI UX designer or a coder, and so I was doing coding for 3 months. But I'll tell you this, that immersing myself in the act of learning a new skill, you know, whatever the drive may be. For me, let me be very honest and clear that my primary drive and my primary goal was to earn money, was to make myself employable. And that's why I started learning that skill in the first place, right? And so I was like really confused that should I learn graphic design? Should I learn coding? Should I learn UI UX? What should I be doing? And it was a mix of everything. And so for 3 months in between, I just did coding. And I remember that I actually loved coding from first year at my university when we did like HTML and CSS, and I just got back to it and I did it, and I actually liked it, loved it, in fact. But it so happened that I got my job 1 week later once I just finished my HTML and CSS course from Udemy. And no, it's nothing is sponsored. I actually did finish a course from Udemy, and it was really nice. Like, but I'll tell you more about that later. I actually got my job in a company in Delhi, and it was mostly work from home, so I was still here in Rishikesh and working for them, and it was nice. Like, long story short, there was not much things on my portfolio, and it did make me employable. It did give me a job, and there was a lot of on-the-job learning as well. I learned a lot on my job, but there was like a lot of headache also that came with it, comes with anything actually. But there was a lot of learning as well, which is what I like. That, you know what, and that I think was the first major boost of confidence. Like, here's a skill, I learned it and didn't like really grow into it. I just learned a bit of this and a bit of that, and that skill actually made me employable. Like, it did give me a job. And when I left my job, I had learned so much. And for me, take it from me that when I was learning these softwares, it was like I'd spent at least 15 hours a day learning into this. Like, I came to Rishikesh primarily to do yoga, and I did not do any yoga for like 6 months when I was learning this. I was just engrossed in my computer, in my software, in my coding, in whatever I was learning. I was just engrossed. And at a point, the act of learning itself felt so comfortable that I even forgot why I was learning it in the first place. Like, I just wanted to be perfect. I just wanted to be great at what I was doing. And so that question mark, you know, well, what about the money? What about the finances? I know it's difficult, but I kept it aside for some days. I did not think about it. I just learned and learned and learned and learned and learned. And I'm one of those very few lucky people whose parents are really supportive when they're learning, and mine were. My mother was extremely supportive. So I just learned. And all of you folks out there, like, if there's one advice I'm going to give it to you, I'm just going to tell you this, that you gotta forget the question of finances. Like, it has to go out of the picture or the goal. And for some days, you just have to focus on learning the tool, learning the technique, learning the coding, learning whatever is it that you want to learn. And it'll come around. You will come around. Because when you become so good at something, somebody notices. You know, the world's like just so cool with the internet, with Instagram, with YouTube, with all of these things, that somebody's going to notice, and they're just going to like take you in. They're going to hire you. My portfolio got noticed, and I sent out an application and I got hired. So for me, it was a pleasant surprise that actually happened. So this is what the learning is, and that is why primarily this channel. A lot of women and a lot of people of my age, I'm 24 right now, I'll be 25 in another 2 months. A lot of people of my age are confused. They're wondering, you know, what do I do, and how do I begin? Where do I begin learning something new, something exciting, you know, and making an online presence? How do I start doing it?
So there's always a first day. Like, this is the first day of my YouTube. This is my first YouTube video after a year. So what I'm saying is that there's always going to be a first. Something that comes the very first time you do it. And maybe it's not going to be good. And you don't have to be good, because the people in any industry, even YouTubers, even graphic designers, they have been around much longer than you and I, right? Even entrepreneurs, like now I'm an entrepreneur, but I can't say that I'll own like a $10 million company in like another 1 year. No, that can't happen, because there are companies, there are people who have been around doing this much longer than you and I have been doing it. And so we simply have to accept, take it slow, put in a lot of hard work into it. And this is why this channel is for, to guide you through the trials and tribulations of starting something new and doing something new. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of ups and downs actually come with it. And so, you know what, whenever you're confused, maybe just tune in to my series and just listen to something for motivation. Maybe just be with me around Rishikesh and see how life can be like really beautiful by little things that we do to make it beautiful, right? So this is a change of scenery I was talking about. It's like a really beautiful place. And yeah, if you guys like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, but I'd say wait for more content and then subscribe to my channel. And also, I'm going to be linking my Instagram, so you can check those out. There are lots of work there, and from my Instagram you can find the Instagram for elementary design courses. We consistently post. These days we are posting a lot of Figma tutorials on auto layout and the latest updates that have come in, like variants, you know. So just check that space out if you want to learn Figma. We post 5-minute exercises, 5-minute follow along exercises every day on our Instagram channel, so you can actually just go there and practice with those follow along tutorial, and you'll be learning a new trick, you'll be learning a new UI UX design trick in Figma. And whenever you sit for an interview, sit for a UI UX interview, you can tell them that, yeah, you know what, I can work with teams because I learned this. So you can also go there and wait for more videos. That's all I can say. See you later. Bye.